Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Minding my business. Hello. Wait. Oh, never mind. I know who you are.
Why do I not know who that is?
Oh,
Do I know who that is?
no, you don't know them.
Okay.
They are from the good old days. They had
Good
just
old
told me earlier what their name
days.
was. Today they changed their name on YouTube.
Yeah, because it's not just
Hello.
Brandy's page
Steph.
anymore.
Hi, Steph. Hope you're feeling better. I saw you were in the hospital. Hey, Harley.
Hey, Kimmy.
So much going on. I have not been able to touch base with you, Steph. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's been a
Oh, we got so many playoffs on that name. So many things on the chicken theme that we got into the coop or in the coop.
yeah,
Cluck off.
there's just I love the holes. The clock.
What the cluck?
It's been a day. Like the morning started with a call me when you get up, which means there's going to be some kind of conversation being had. And I had already sent her a really funny video that I really should put on YouTube because it's hilarious as hell. Is my German Shepherd that I share with y'all, Jovi, who is 95 pounds of fuck around and find out, playing with the skillet outside like it's a ball. Like he's bringing it to me for me to kick it so he can
It's
go get it
hilarious.
and bring it back to me. And he
He's
just
literally toting a huge frying pan and just like throwing it around like it's a rag. It's a frying pan, like a 9-inch frying pan.
Yeah, it's like a medium-sized frying pan. Yeah, he just like it's like that's what normal dogs do is carry a skillet around. and look, I was gonna bring it back in, and I don't have the heart because I have other skillets. I don't have the heart to bring it back in because he has so much fun with it.
Thank you, Kimmy.
So what caused the name channel name? Okay, what caused the
Let's
channel
try
name?
that again.
There we go. See, this is the day I've had, guys. Because of the phone call. We were on the phone for hours, and then a whole nother phone call happened, and then I was having to fight with the bank and some other things. And I looked up and I'm like, I haven't finished preparing for the case. This was fun. So yeah, I am scattered and talking 90 miles an hour. Steph, we are forming a business. Previous endeavors with other people were disastrous. And like I told Fancy and others, I'm tired of building people's empires. It's time to build my own. So we have formed an LLC, and what's funny, Steph, is my husband named it because he thought he was being a smartass, and we fell in love with the name, so we went with it because
Oh, he thought he was being such a smart ass.
he
We were
says
coming up with these brilliant names.
we had these
And
really cool names, and we're
I
just
mean,
going back
cool
and
names,
forth trying to figure it out. And he goes, "Why not the cackling hens? Because that's all y'all do is cackle." So
And we were in love immediately.
we were giggling, and then we got on the phone with her son Chase, and we told Chase, and Chase was like, that is absolutely fucking perfect. So yeah, we picked the cackling hens. So we just are doing a whole chicken play off of things. So well, good stuff. I'm glad you got to go home. Get some rest. Hi, inside the purple purse. So yeah, it's just been like, look, I should have known after being a super busy day yesterday and not being home, not to try to do a live the next day because I got so much shit to catch up on. But I'm busy tomorrow, so I had to do this. But I just discovered that I could get the whole freaking case file for
Look at rebrand.
good evening, all you mother cluckers. See, I love this. This is why we went this way, rebrand. And hello, rebrand. This is why we went this way because I just love the whole play on it. It's just hilarious. You can be sassy without being sassy. But literally 5 minutes before I hit live, discovered that I could get the whole case file downloaded. So I have the whole case file. Now I'm trying to download it while we're live and figure out what's what. So we may have to do a whole nother live on this and really do the case file itself. Like we could do that. We could do it. That's what we could do next week, Kendall. We were trying to figure out a case for next week.
I'm so mad at her about this case. She's been talking about this case for a while. I didn't look it up. It was her baby. I didn't look it up. Normally, I will do my own homework, but I didn't until like 3 days ago, and I'm literally cussing her.
You were doing it yesterday while I was on the road. You're like, "Oh my God, I hate you."
I was like, "This is horrendous. Like, are you kidding me?"
So looks like real quick, an update, guys, on that active shooter in Kentucky. It looks like they may very well have found his deceased body. That's not confirmed. That's through JLR and some other things. So there is an update there. Kind of curious to see what
close to Ryan's house.
Yes, all that happened right around Ryan's house. I had actually figured that they would find him dead. I did not think they would find it. I figured he took his own life, and that's how they would found him. See, look, and I can talk so great today, guys, just so great. So let's see, this Sunday, isn't it? Yes, we are having Kendall's birthday party. We're gonna have a whole party jam on here.
Won't be this week; it'll be next week. My birthday's September 30th.
Is it next week? I thought we said it's this week. Okay, it's next week.
Yeah, the Sunday before my birthday.
Next Sunday. See, I'm a week ahead.
Yeah, it'll be next Sunday. Yeah.
Rebrand her turkey legs. She wants to know if we're having turkey legs. I'm going to find a freaking video of turkey legs just for rebrand.
How come turkey legs is like spoke about in every live somewhere or another?
Because of the Renaissance thing. They were super excited for me to do the whole Renaissance thing and share videos, and turkey legs are a big thing.
Gotcha.
So she's now stuck on that. Like seriously stuck on. I'm gonna mail her when she's supposed to be mailing me some really cool tomatoes, and so I'm gonna mail her a turkey leg. I might figure out how to get it to her without it spoiling, but I'm gonna get her a turkey leg.
I'll have to make her one out of polymorph clay.
Right. So let's see. We're gonna do Kendall's birthday I'm saying this Sunday. Next Sunday. I lied. Next Sunday. Next week. I think.
I'll have the Alaskan Avenger done.
Oh, we're doing that next week, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Next on it today.
We're doing the Alaskan Adventure. And then that'll give me a full week to finish going through this whole case file. And I think we'll do another deep dive on what happened in court. I think that would be interesting. Cluckets. I may do that because I'm going to go in and change the membership level names. And so that I can do Cluckets. That would be hilarious.
Oh my goodness, Harley. That is something I would do.
I get a turkey leg, put a shoe on it, give it to my dog, and let my neighbors feel. That would be hilarious. I mean, I have one carrying a frying pan around, so another one carrying a turkey leg. And me a gobbler to grow to size myself in time for Thanksgiving. See, that's what I thought about doing, is raising turkeys. But evidently my husband was attacked by a turkey when he was a kid, so he's traumatized by that and doesn't want me to have turkeys. I thought it would be neat. I wanted to raise them up and then give each of the kids a turkey for the holidays, have it processed, and give it to them for the holidays. I thought that would be a neat idea for the family.
Family oriented, really? Get to know a pet, love it, kill it, and eat it? I'm
a farm girl, of course.
I'm a farm girl too, but I can't eat anything that I've had a name and looked in its eyes.
I wouldn't name it. I ain't going. That's why Dave says I can't have a cow, because I would name it and fall in love with it, and then we would never eat it.
Cows have really cool personalities if you raise them like, little up.
Yeah, because I would want to do a bottle baby. That way you get them cheaper.
Well, people don't even believe that chickens have personalities, and they got really cool personalities.
They do. So Steph says we can do cluckettes. Another level be mother cluckers mother cluckettes or mother cluckers. See, there's so many fun names off of it. So we're just going to have fun with it. Cows are the sweetest. That's why I know that I would have a hard time with doing a cow.
Mhm.
That's what he
I think we get insensitive to where our food does come from, though.
right.
I mean, most of us eat meat, and we don't ever, or a lot of us,
I
you
mean, I
know.
can go out and process my quail, no big deal. And I mean, there's one boy out there that I actually hatched him, and he's been my favorite from the get go. And I'm like, okay, you're starting to get older. I'm fixing to have to process you, so I'm kind of freaked out by that one. But it's a funny process. Like I literally hold them close, I pet them on the head, I thank them for what they're giving me, and then clip, and then it's done. I have a whole little ritual. Oh, Katie's sending me video. She's got baby Waylay tonight.
Hmm.
Oh
Cows are sweet.
my God, he is so precious. My grandbaby is just perfect, guys. I have to tell y'all, the baby is just perfect.
Baby's got hands of a 5-year-old, though.
He's got these little mitts. He got the cutest little dimples on his knuckles. I mean, he's a chunk. He don't stop eating. Oh, let's see. Let me make this. No, not yet. Oh, let's see. So what else do we have on? We're gonna do the Alaskan Adventure. I'm gonna redo this one. We're gonna have the birthday bash.
And there's no telling what else. Oh, we got a serial killer coming up.
We do have another because I've been wanting to talk about Edmund Kemper. Y'all know that, and Um420 has begged me to do that for probably 3 years now. And that's the one case her son has asked for us to do is Edmund Kemper. So we'll definitely be doing that. Threaten my macaws more than once with the oven. I threaten these guys with freezer camp often.
We got what's her name?
Shanda
Vander, yeah, whatever her
it
name
is.
is.
We have a
That one was requested by a family member too.
So we're gonna do that one, which is going to take some deep diving. So we've got to get some things lined out that we don't have to deep dive, that we can be throwing out while we're deep diving. I threatened to sell my son on eBay, so I can't say anything.
He's such a cutie pie, though.
I've threatened to give mine to the Amish several times.
Nothing like us mamas and them boys, them sons. I'll tell you what.
Sylvia Likens. Have you asked me to do that? Name sounds really familiar. Hold on, let me look it up. I had mentioned doing Chris Kyle this week, but I'm going to wait and do that in February because that's the anniversary of his death. So we have some time for that. Murder of Sylvia Likens. Oh, I love those older cases. That's a 1965 case. We'll have to do that one. And I do have my dear friend who I've done an interview on about Kathy Jones. His name is Stephen David Lampley. Y'all have heard all of me and Fancy talk about him a couple times. He is sending me a book that he has coming out to do a review on. So I'm excited about that book. Trying to think. I've got another author I'd like to hit up. There is a live coming, guys. I told y'all the other night that we would work on it to explain some histories.
Well, you and Fancy are going to do that, and then I'm going to stream it.
Right, we're going to have it playing over
here.
That way, y'all are in here now. It'll be through StreamYard, so she'll be able to see your comments unless we just do it where I just stream it from here. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We're either going to run it through StreamYard to both channels, or I just go on her channel and Kendall can come over here and stream it.
That way, all of our people that aren't comfortable being over there can be here and have your opinions. And
I'm more worried about some of y'all saying snarky comments and getting her worked up and set off, and then I have a fire to put out. So I would rather keep the two separate. And that way everybody feels safe. I mean, y'all would be safe because y'all wouldn't be able to see anything they're saying, but she would see what you're saying. And I told her that day, it's like, no, I'm good. I don't react. I'm like, I know her better than that.
This is more for Brandy's healing rather than it is really for anyone else's entertainment. So, I mean, we're going to stream it because a lot of people ask and want to know. But for me, I wouldn't care if it happened privately and then was just streamed. But
Well,
there's a lot of healing.
can you clarify? Because she says that's not really fair to many of your viewers, Brandy. Which isn't fair? Streaming it both on both channels or streaming it from here? Can you clarify for me? Really, in the end, what it is to kind of give an explanation of what her and I have discovered, and not just her and I, me, her, and business partners that are currently in
From the
business,
past. Yeah.
and that how things have fallen together, and that
A lot
hopefully,
of y'all don't understand. Because
I
there's so
think
many things we can't speak on or haven't spoke on. Um, we keep holding back because things keep coming in, and
okay. So Rebrand says if Fancy is commenting in chat at all, she has so many people blocked it makes dialogue difficult. So would it be okay? Would you guys? I mean, could y'all refrain from being horribly ugly if it's on StreamYard where she sees your comments?
I think she would be open to unblocking people if everybody could understand that.
I
Her
mean,
too. She
we
has
can
to understand too
right.
that this is for healing.
We can go
You've
through
done really good,
StreamYard.
Rebrand.
You've been very good. We
Yeah.
can we can stream through StreamYard where y'all can be over here on this channel and it still be popping up where she sees it. And because even if I have you blocked, I can see you in StreamYard. So
Yeah. We were just doing it in two different places because I know some of our people. Um, it well, not really our people, but there has been some people that's come in that even if we've asked them to be respectful because it's been a serious moment or something, they still haven't. Most of our people, well, all of our people, if we ask them to be respectful, you guys have.
really it's so that we want to share what we've
Broke
gone.
all my nails.
I know it cracks me up. And how we have come to see things differently than what we used to. And I am extremely hopeful, and I think Kendall is too, after the last few conversations, that there is a huge change happening for the good. I think.
And I understand that people don't, I mean, how do I say this? We don't expect people to change their opinions towards Fancy because we have on certain subjects. We're not asking anyone to do that. We understand that there's been a lot of feelings hurt. There's been people traumatized by some things that's been said. So we're not asking anybody to change.
Right.
We're just asking during that to respect us enough to
Look,
be
when it comes to
respectful.
nails, I'm super impressed with Harley's because I get my nails done and I cannot do them as long as Harley. She cracks me up with how long they are. I don't know how she functions. Like I
And
would
mine are long and mine are natural, and I'm always breaking them.
Steph needs a cut. I know, Steph, you've had your own drama going on over there. It's a lot, girlfriend. It is a lot. Kim says, I hope so. Change needs to happen because things get too toxic and it's gotten out of control. 100%, which is why we had called the truce to begin with, and then things took from there, and it's developed into
Listen,
something.
I told Fancy today because me and Brandy and Fancy ended up in a three-way conversation, and Fancy was talking, and I just had to stop her for a minute, and I know this is gonna piss some people off, but I am who I am, and I told her that I'm proud of her growth
Well, and
because
there were some things she was saying to me that were very personal and
I mean she
apology.
was literally just apologizing over and over and over to Brandy, and I just like
And
this.
she was crying. I mean, there was
Yeah,
emotion in it. So it
yeah.
wasn't like a kiss in my
And I
ass.
know there's going to be people say it's manipulation, and time will tell, right? Time will
Right.
tell.
Time to tell.
But I'm hopeful. And um, again, it doesn't change anything how we feel about the case. But I told her that I'm really proud of her growth and that people can hear someone when they can contain themselves and can act professional and, not go unhinged, not go all unhinged. But we're not asking anybody to change their opinions. That's got to be on their time. but I'm glad it's happened the way it has.
Yes, me too.
For me and Brandy, I'm glad it's happened, and I appreciate the people that has supported our decisions.
Oh, I don't want to show that
And
picture.
actually, I appreciate the people that appreciated or has respected our decisions and has also maintained their own opinion. Because I'm not a follower, so I appreciate those that can be respectful but still have their own opinions.
Right. Shit. Okay.
Like I said, basically for me, this all started off for Brandy. It started off where it was closure for Brandy. It started a healing process for her, and of course, I'm going to support that. And
And this is
it's
very good, Harley. Harley says
it's
maybe
kind of good.
it is manipulation, but you guys opening up that door and trying to bring it out, maybe it'll help her to be a better person. I agree. I agree.
Mhm. I
Uh,
think she has seen a lot of mistakes that she's made, and she's trying to grow from it.
so now that we have,
And I know we've seen some mistakes we've made and trying to grow from it too. It's not all fancy. I mean, I'm not trying to blame it all on her. But
did it seriously not save those pictures I just did? What son of a biscuit eater.
where's my little handprint?
I don't
I'm
know.
just a
It was
blob.
there and it did like a little bleep and it was gone.
I'm just a little gray faced,
So let me um it's just going to be fucking difficult. It's just what it's going to be today. This is my life today. It's just everything's got to be difficult. It's just how it is.
Right, Harley. We've all done some dumb shit. Like I said the other day, that when I stepped back and realized who I had become online, it was embarrassing because it's just so not who I am. I mean, some of y'all know who I am and know my real heart, and who I was showing online was not who I am. Um,
So,
we grow, we learn, we make mistakes, and we grow from it, or hopefully we do.
and here's the thing. I'm not going to expect anybody to do anything. Or
We
change
love you
their
too,
mind.
Harley.
I look, I am one of those girls that really wants the whole unicorns and rainbow thing. Like, I want everything to be just unicorns and rainbows. I know that's not realistic, but I hope somewhere in between the two levels we can find some happiness and peace and coexisting with everybody. Um, Steph and I have. Steph is one from 2019, guys. She was one of the part of the Facebook wars. She was actually an ex Natasha mod. See how many of the ex Natasha mods I'm friends
How
with.
did you end up with so many ex Natasha ones?
Um,
And you say
Steph,
nothing but good things about all of them. So
Stephanie was one that she actually came to me, and it was a time when they were really dragging Fancy, and we were really having a hard time. It was bad. It was that time that I talk about that was really, really bad. And she came to me worried about Fancy and wanted to make sure we're looking out for her. And I was snarky to her. I'm like, why? Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't know why you are with everything y'all are doing. I was not very friendly. And then when the asshat explosion happened and we all split our ways, and I ended up in a group chat with all of the ex mods, and some of us split off, some of us were friends, and some of us weren't. And Stephanie is one that's always been a friend. 420 has always been a friend. There's a few more that pop in ever so often that I've been friends with. And it was one of those that we all realized how ugly we had gotten and it wasn't who we were. And Steph says, as a friend to Brandy, she knows where I stand, and that past repeats to protect herself in a way that she sees fit. As her friend, I will always support her in the decisions that she feels that she needs to take. Thank you, Steph. Trust me, I'm being very guarded and very cautious with everything.
we have been invited with Fancy to work on something, and I don't think no one's talking about it at this point in time. And we're trying to make the decision whether we want to, and we're cautious. I'm sure she's cautious too. So we'll see. We have a lot of thinking and talking and deciding, but
Here's the thing. I thought about this after earlier. We're the only ones that would want to do the defense side.
I didn't know if you was going to say what it is. I think I'm game to do it.
I think we might as why the hell not, right? I mean, look, I am the type of person who's going to jump head first into everything she fucking does. And
Brandy's been wanting to do it. She just couldn't talk me into it.
I wanted
I
to
was
do it, but I
cautious.
was also standing back going, do I want to do it? I didn't want to do it and be the only one. That's for damn sure. Unfortunately, ends up becoming a mob mentality, especially when you're in a group of women and honesty. It's people we normally are not. It absolutely can. Absolutely. Well, and rebrand, and you know what? I don't blame you for having that view because you haven't seen anything different, right? And like, look, if she is, then it'll blow up, right?
We'll eventually have a difference in opinions, and that will test all of us.
Right, right. And so,
And again, we're not. Who was it that night said when y'all start braiding each other's hair,
it was
we're
rebrand.
already
Asked Sandy if I was
okay?
supposed to
It's like
braiding her hair. She
we're still not braiding nobody's hair.
no, no, we're still not braiding nobody's hair. Uh, I'm staying in my lane, guys. I'm staying in my lane. For one, Kendall and I are starting a new business. We have our own little empire over here to build. So I don't want to do everybody else's work. But this is a project that I do think, if it is going the direction it
I don't know
appears
who
to,
else would do the part except me and you.
right.
If we don't
So,
do the part, I don't know who would.
and I don't know if anybody else could be fair to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, cracks me
Oh goodness, I didn't even. Stevie's been busy all day today. I was like, "Where's our other little mean child
we got
at?"
Stevie and we got Boston. They ain't here yet. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump in so we're not super late. I don't know that we're going to be super long with this one because, like I said, getting those files, I kind of want to go through them and see what all there's in it. Because there's a 911 call and some other things I'm hoping are in that file. Because I want to hear them and I want to read the testimony. Because one of the parties has been tried already. But anyways, we're going to be talking. Oh, hold on. I got to do this first. Let's see. Yeah, do I already have one done up? Right here. I'm going to put this across here. Trigger warning. This is going to be subject matter that is going to be very disturbing, guys.
This is a hard one.
This is a hard case. This is I covered this when it broke 2 years ago. And it is just, it's a gut punch, guys. It's just a gut punch. But this darling little boy, this is Kendrick Lee. He was 8 years old. And he was autistic. And from what I have been able to pick up, I am 95% positive that he was nonverbal or almost completely nonverbal. Here's another little picture of him.
Thank you, Abraham.
And then I guess this is when he was younger because he looks very young here. But this little boy.
There is so much cruelty.
No, Steph, this is the Houston House of Horrors. I am going to do Hopper Road again soon. I've got to get with the family because they want to come on and talk. And as a matter of fact, I have got to tell Kendall about Hopper Road. Hopper Road will always be my heart. I will always be with that family. And when we get to go to trial, I'll be in Ohio to go to trial with them. Need to multitask. Okay, thank you, Rebrand. Thank you. It should be an easy night.
We're fine. Everybody's good.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It's fine.
Make sure while y'all are here that you leave a thumbs up, if you will, please. Appreciate that so much. So, on October 24th of 2021, their 15-year-old Jordan Lee, he texted his mother, And in these text messages, he tells her he's fixing to report her. And so nothing happens in those text messages, right? So what does he do? He reports her. He calls 911. And in this 911 phone call, he tells them that him and his brothers are living in an apartment, and one of his brothers is deceased and has been for almost a year. So, the cops are kind of, you get calls like that and you're like, what? So they show up. They were not expecting what they found. They have reported that this was probably the most gruesome thing they've ever walked into, that it literally traumatized them all. The apartment was filled with trash, feces, bugs. It smelled horribly. There were 3 children, Jordan, Trayvon, and Javion, and they were 15, 10, and 7.
3 children living.
The 4th child, Kendrick, was found wrapped in a blanket inside the closet, completely decomposed. He had been dead for a year, almost a year, 11 months. And the neighbors were feeding these kids, right? Jordan would not take anything cooked. Like if you made some macaroni and cheese, he's not going to eat it. He would take ramen, and he would take pizzas, and he would take fruit and candy, anything that was packaged. He would not take cooked food. So that is something I'm curious to see if it's in the trial, why he wasn't taking cooked food. I want to know those details. Like, that is weird for a child to not take cooked food, other than he was worried he was being poisoned. The mother, there's 2 accounts. One, the mother says that she was dropping groceries off every 2 weeks. Another says it was once a month. I don't know which is true. Both of them suck ass. Like, the mom and the boyfriend are living it up in their new apartment, eating out, wearing bling bling, and drinking fancy drinks and all this stuff, while their kids are living with a dead body.
Yeah, well, this is what the parents did after. Well, you ain't talked about how he died, but after the murder, they moved out.
Yeah.
They moved out and got another apartment, furnished that apartment, and they left these 4 children, one of them deceased, in an empty apartment with no furniture.
Well, and here's the catcher. There are 2 other children.
They were drawing they were drawing money off of these 3 children that were alive, including 4 children. The 4th one that was dead, they were drawing over $2,000. I've seen 2 accounts. One was $1,800, one was $2,000 a month off of these children from the state in order to support their other lifestyle.
Well, because 2 of them, starved. I believe it was Javion and Kendrick, were both autistic, so she had disability checks for them, plus state subsidies she was getting, and the apartment was under state subsidized. So, and I've looked up the pricing. Those apartments are not cheap, but it was state subsidized.
Nice apartments.
And they're really nice looking. They would find Jordan sleeping on the slide. He was always just kind of wondering. They didn't have no electricity. They had lost all of their electricity. They had no running. I don't even think they had running water at this point. So the timeline is, in 2020, there were 2 truancy charges filed on them by CPS.
Hang on, Brandon, just a minute. They've already been out. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. And like mid-year, and mind you, this was during the pandemic, so schools were shut down, and they've already had, before the school shut down, I believe we shut down in Texas in March or April. They had already had 2 truancy charges filed because the kids weren't going to school. They had several CPS investigations on this family, 2 of them for sexual abuse, and that was on the daughters, a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 13-year-old was finally living with grandmother and because she finally got her to give her up during this whole mess. I believe, I want to say, and I may have this part wrong because the ages are so weird on all of this, she was 7 when the grandmother got her, when those charges first filed. So you've got 2 truancy charges, previous CPS charges and investigations.
Nobody's doing nothing.
Nobody's doing anything, right? No, they're just closing the case. They let the grandmother take the girl because of the sexual abuse allegations, and they just drop it. It's fine. I'm infuriated. I'm just infuriated with it. So, 16-year-old, her name is Jasmine. She was kicked out because she was standing up to them over the abuse of the boys. And it was physical. Like, she was physically fighting Gloria and Brian. The boyfriend's name is Brian Coulter, and the mother's name is Gloria Williams. And
Do you have a picture of the parents?
Yes, I'll pull that up here in a second.
He's a real winner.
Where is my other picture of him? Let's see. Hold on. Let me get it.
You're okay, baby.
I don't want a video. I want the images. So in between, what we know is between are y'all still there?
We're here.
Okay. I sent the picture to my computer and lost the screen. Okay, I need you to come back. Oh, there we are. Woohoo, found it. It just flat out disappeared. It's like, what the hell? Let me go.
That's cats for you.
Okay,
PS5's broken? That's why you don't get cats.
Minnie, quit trying to get out of there. Let's see. Right.
Those aren't normal cats. They're tigers.
Yeah, they're Maine Coons, so they're
huge.
They're going to be a little more different. I don't even know if that was the right word.
He's not part tiger. He's part big cat.
Why does it keep doing that? This is really just not wanting to cooperate with me today. It's just all it boils down to. So here's the winter chicken dinners. This is Gloria and Brian. Which he looks much different.
Children. They're all her children.
Yes, and I'll get into the parentage of that in a minute because it is pretty complicated. I don't want to leave him up there long. We're going to put pretty little boy on there. What we know is the death happened between November 20th through November 23rd. We do not, technically we don't have, and they may have finally dwindled it down. I've got to read the court papers. But it happened in between those dates because, get this one, these two yahoos take off from Houston to Luling, go to Luling, Texas. I don't know what they're doing out there. And he's arrested. Dumb fuck's arrested for illegal possession of a weapon or something along those lines. And that happened, they were there in Luling from 11/23 to 11/29. So we already know as of November of 2020, they've left these children for 7 days, a week, at least already, right? So,
during that time, the body would have been.
Yeah, it was already, because she found, when she went in and found Kendrick, she said, something's wrong, because this is the text message that I have read on that. She's like, something's wrong. He's not breathing. And he's like, well, it's in God's hands now. So she doesn't call the law. She doesn't take him anywhere. She seeks no kind of help to protect her other children from a monster. Because this wasn't the first attack. This was normal. He beat the crap out of him and Javion. Javion had a broken jaw that they did not get any kind of medical care for, that they had to have surgery done on that baby to fix his jaw after they were taken in 2021.
That baby said that the man would drink, and when he would drink, he would get really strong, and he would beat him, and he had a big square ring, and he would beat him with the hand with that square ring. And he watched this man beat his brother to death. Watched him. He was in the room while he watched him beat him to death. He had said on the stand that he watched him just go to sleep and quit blinking. One of the articles I watched said that he just stopped blinking. So I don't know if that's when he died and his eyes didn't shut, or and then the man just covered him up with a blue blanket and left him there, and left those three kids there.
So frustrating. So frustrating. So they go through and they've had all of this abuse and all these things go on. They leave March of 2021. They leave the apartment, go to their new apartment, living it up, posting Instagram videos all over the place. October 24th is when Jordan calls 911. They are arrested on October 26th because they were found at the library researching this story to find out what the law knew and was saying about the story. They had already been questioned and played dumb. Like, she's like, I don't know what happened, and I don't know, I didn't know, all of these things. And she was found that not be true. She was originally charged with injury to a child by omission and tampering with evidence of a human corpse. He was charged with murder. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't do capital murder with this, being children, and the other aggravating effects with it. They did upgrade her charges. And as a matter of fact, I have that. I think I'll find that. Or I just downloaded all these files. Still got files to download. Here's her charges. So she was charged. They added to the charges. Her original bail was $300,000, $1 million, and another $250,000. So she was on the hook for $1.5 million, basically. One of these was disposed of on 5/1 of 2024 because they changed her charges to injury to a child subject to mental something or another, and that was $1 million bond, and the other one was a $500,000 bond. So they did change her charges a little bit, not a lot, but they did up her bond, and they did that after his trial. He went to trial in April. Well, see, inside the purse, I don't know that they're through with that one. I don't know that Jen Soto is going to get away. They still have time to charge her. And I keep expecting them to, unless they're using her testimony. I don't know if they're working on something. I don't know. I think they have enough digital evidence with him. I need to start following that a lot closer because that case just makes me sick. But I don't, I think a lot of people have that same question, not understanding why they're not charging her. So I do look to see them. I do think they will eventually. But Brian went to trial in April. He chose to have a judge trial, not a jury trial. After all of the tests, all 3 boys testified. All 3 of them. I'm so proud of these little boys for testifying. Uh, of course, Javion and Trayvon um, were testified via video. They did not have them in the courtroom in front of this man. But Jordan did. Jordan got on that stand, looked that man in the eye, and testified against him. I am so proud of that boy. When the courts were trying to take them and place them somewhere, he just told them, they're my babies. You're not taking my babies. Those are my babies. So Jordan is very protective of his brothers. And at the time, let's go back to the parentage. I was going to go there. So Gloria kept telling everybody, she would tell everybody their dad was dead. She did have a husband who had died, but he was not their daddy. Then she told everybody, and a lot of the family were saying, well, the daddy's in jail. Well, the daddy wasn't in jail. One of her other guys was in jail, but the daddy lived in Louisiana. He had been involved with the kid's life for a while until all of a sudden she started getting really weird and blocking them everywhere. I suspect that might have been about when the abuse happened. And so they couldn't find them. They had no idea where the children were or she was or anything. He found out about this little boy's death through the newspaper.
I've seen an article where the oldest child was telling the detectives that they had a bedroom at the house where the murder happened they had changed the lock to a deadbolt lock from the outside and would lock them in the room, and that they could hear what's the one that got Kendrick, the one that was murdered, they could hear them beating him.
Yeah. I think it was Travion, they would leave locked in the room while they beat them. Yep. Usually when there are crimes against children, the things you find out about are not all that exist. Those kids probably went to way more. Yes. I think there's way more. I'm sure there was a lot talked about in the trial. I had been trying to watch for updates on this, and if it had not been for my friend showing it on Facebook, I was like, holy crap, I totally forgot to be watching for this. There's been nothing in the news here. This is just right down the road, and it's 2 hours from me. I go to Houston all the dang time. So I was kind of bummed because I would have liked to have gone to this trial. I would have liked to have been there. And I still may go to Mom's. I may try to go to Mom's because it's irritating. Why are these kind of cases not being talked about?
I think there should be a study in how many children with autism that's nonverbal are abused, because it seems like, I'm not saying the other 3 children weren't abused, they were. I mean, one of them, when the kids were finally found in this apartment, or the 15-year-old brought the cops there, one of them that Brandy was talking about, that had the jaw had been so badly beaten that they ended up having to do surgery on him because it had went so long with no medical care. But it always seems like it's the one that can't speak that gets the blunt of it the worst, physically at least.
Right. Well, and a couple of the things that stuck out to me when these cops were on scene when this first broke, they take them and they're getting them in the cars and they check them and figure out what to do, and they wanted to get them food. And they're like, well, what do y'all want to eat? What do you want? We're going to go get you food. They wanted donuts. So they took them to Shipley's Donuts and got them donuts. And to me, that was the cutest thing.
So innocent.
Let's just get them donuts. Whatever they wanted. I'm thinking I would have gone and got them some hamburgers or some chicken nuggets or something. No, we went and got them donuts. And but can you imagine how hungry these kids were, that they probably would have eaten the cardboard it all come in at this point? I mean, she's bringing food once a month and not even that much food. They had no electricity. It was November. We start getting chilly. I mean, we're not cold, but they didn't have any electricity through the summer. And y'all, Texas, you can't do without AC here. It's too hot.
And I guess the baby just laid in that room all that time with the blue blanket over him, because even the police found him with
They
the blue blanket on
He
him.
was wrapped in the blanket and put inside the closet.
Oh,
He was
was he?
inside, yeah, he was inside the closet when they found him.
I know I seen one article that said when they pulled the covers back, roaches was crawling through his eye sockets,
Oh
just like
yeah,
you'd
he
see
was.
on a
Yeah.
horror movie, right?
Yep.
It's this poor little baby.
So let's see. I have several articles pulled up.
He's
So
such
here
a cutie pie.
is yeah, I can share this one. Let me go over here. Let's go here. We'll open this article up and read it together.
See, that's what I thought too. Was where's the smell? I mean,
Well,
you're talking about Texas heat.
the neighbors reported the smell and the apartments did nothing. There was a water leak that the neighbors reported and nothing was ever done.
I mean, you would know this is more than just mold or
Right.
mildew.
Right. Well, they say the smell inside the apartment just from the trash and feces alone was beyond disgusting.
Yeah, the one that talked about being locked in the room for days at a time said that they were expected just to go to the bathroom in the room.
Yeah. They just went on the floor wherever they were at.
I mean, they were kept worse than animals.
Right. You make it, and I'd kind of like to find out what the apartment did with that apartment. Have they ever been able to get that apartment clean enough?
Who would want to live there?
I mean, because it's not like it's a home that they can condemn and tear down. It's part of an apartment building.
And it's a beautiful apartment.
It's a nice apartment. It's not a bad area. It's a decent area.
Beautiful apartment.
I mean, Houston's kind of dangerous no matter where you at. But here is the article, and this talks about her new charges. It says 2 new charges have been brought against Gloria Williams, including failing to provide food or medical aid to her 8-year-old son, Kendrick Lee, before he was beaten to death by her partner, Brian Coulter. So this is before. This charge is saying that she didn't do the proper care before his death. Harris County Assistant District Attorney Celeste Byram said that Williams did not act as a mother despite being highly aware of her partner abusing her child. The allegations in this charge is that Gloria Williams failed to provide adequate intervention, knowing that there was an injured child in her household, and she failed to intervene when there was abuse. The second indictment accuses her of neglecting to provide food or medical aid to Lee before he was fatally beaten. So the charges sound very similar. Says she failed to get medical treatment for that child, and so it led to the death of that child. Byram added, that's when it became apparent that we needed to do additional charges involving Gloria. The children of Williams are 10, 12, and 17 who survived Coulter's abuse testified at his trial. This is him now. Let's play this. And this is for educational purposes and forget. There's always a commercial with these stupid things.
All right, Mr. Coulter, please stand. All right, Mr. Coulter, after considering all the evidence in this case and the arguments from counsel, the court hereby finds.
Huh?
Can you remove his picture so we can see it?
Oh, I forgot that was up there. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. I totally forgot I had this up. Oh, they did smell inside the purple purse, and they reported it. Sorry about that, guys. Okay.
Guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment. Is there any legal reason now, sir, why the court should not pronounce sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Look at that smug face. Like,
he's got no remorse.
None.
He's just mad he got caught.
So, Mr. Coulter, as legally I'm required to do by law, after having been found guilty, I hereby, having been found guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment, I hereby sentence you to life without parole, and you shall stay in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for the remainder of your life. And with that, State, Are there any victim impact statements?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Coulter, have a seat. Mr. Coulter,
No impact statements. Nobody spoke for those children.
And that's what bothers me. I'm like, why did nobody else write an impact statement?
Nobody spoke for that baby. For those babies.
I don't understand that. That's kind of gut wrenching. It really is. But I love what this judge says. She rips into him.
No, the judge is good.
It took her 20 minutes, guys. 20 minutes to come back with her verdict. 20 minutes. No brainer here.
I've been practicing criminal law 24-ish years. I've seen everything. I thought I'd heard everything. I actually thought I'd gotten pretty good at compartmentalizing things that occur up here when I go home to my own family and my own life. But that stopped with this case. This is probably one of the most horrific set of facts that I have ever had to witness, to listen to, and to imagine. And especially as the fact finder on a capital murder, when I had to painstakingly listen, take notes, as both sides deserve, to be fair, and to go over every single one of those exhibits, along with listen to your voice, to Gloria Williams' voice, and to Jordan's voice. And sir, those children have haunted me this last week. They have haunted my mind, and they have interrupted my safe space when I leave this building. This is Child Abuse Month. I don't know if you know that. April is. How you, sir, could have done what you did to those children when you look at them in the face, children that you led to believe were your own kids. You represented their father. You told them that. You told them in such a way that the oldest child did your bidding for you. He stayed in his own bedroom, and he went in and did what you told him to do because they trusted you. They loved you maybe as a father because that's what you led them to believe, right? And, I think about what those kids went through. I think about all three of them and their injuries.
There's no tears. His eyes aren't
He
red.
looks like he's bored to death.
He looks mad. He looks
just another day.
To me, he looks pissed off. He looks like he's pissed that how dare these kids speak up. It's one of those, to me, it's an abuser tactic where he's shocked that he has not kept the control over them and they dare to go against him. It just makes me sick. I hope he has a wonderful time in prison, said sarcastically.
I think about how you could look at each and every one of them and hit them in the face. So much so that in the end, one had to have jaw surgery. And so the courage that they had to testify in this case, and I hope they all three of them remaining will go on and live a very, very healthy, happy life. I'm also very satisfied to see that they both seem to have loving, caring people to take care of them. One family testified, I understand, on her birthday. And then as Jordan testified, I saw a whole group of people that loved him, that sat in the courtroom, watching him, being there for him, and supporting him as he sat in this witness stand and testified before you, sir. So you have been in this court since the very beginning, and now you will leave this court, but you will not leave my mind from what I had to hear. And I hope, sir, when you're in prison, I hope those same boys that have haunted my mind haunt yours. And so with that, this is concluded. Anything else from either side?
Disgusting.
There's just no words. There seriously is no words. Just I just can't. This next article says the state report shows multiple investigations prior to the abandoned 8-year-old's death. A 12-page child fatality report shows Child Protective Services was involved at multiple points in the life of a family that included an 8-year-old boy whose corpse was found among his living siblings back in October of 2021. Despite multiple investigations, the state's report did not reveal concerns about long-term abuse. Child advocates say that points to a deeper problem. I agree with that. CPS failed. CPS fucking failed. When you
It's
see
understaffed, underfunded.
it is, and I
It's
try
all those excuses, but
and I try to understand that because I do have a friend that works in the CPS system, and that is
doesn't
what
matter.
she and it struggles, but she would not have let this case go.
Our country should be better.
Had she been one that had been investigating this case, she wouldn't have let this go. She would not have let this go.
I believe in these big cities, especially these big cities, that there's so many, compare for ratio, children, per worker. And I don't know if they do it on purpose, just turn a blind eye sometimes, or they don't even check stuff out and just say it's okay and let it go because they're so overwhelmed. But us as a country, when we're casting our votes, we need to help with this, let our voices be heard.
And I need to correct real quick. I had the wrong child with the broken jaw. It was actually the 10-year-old, which is Trayvon, not Javion, not the youngest one, but the second to the oldest one, the one that was just 1 year older, 2 year older than Kendrick. He was the one with the broken jaw. I had that part wrong. I apologize.
It's CPS can come in and make someone's life miserable, sometimes for the most stupidest reasons, and drag it on for years. And then stuff like this is happening.
Total of 9 investigations by CPS involving accusations of abuse and neglect between April of 2015 and November of 2020, including physical and sexual abuse as well as neglect. Only twice did CPS determine there was a problem. Twice.
But usually when there is a problem found,
they continue.
Sometimes they remove the children, or they start a parenting plan. They do home checks. You got to jump through their hoops. You got to go through classes. Like, what happened here? They just did the paperwork and moved on.
Yeah, it says, because it says that the 16-year-old had actually run away. State took custody of her. That's different than what I
ran away, though, because she stuck up for her brother.
Right. The state's report notes in the other investigation that CPS workers did not see any injuries on the children, and the children denied being abused. Children will always deny being abused.
Mm-hmm.
CPS took custody of the teen after confirming the mother committed medical neglectful supervision and refusal to accept parental responsibility. If she did that then, why, in God's green name, did they not do anything to remove the other children until things were rectified? Like, come on, why not have a parenting plan in place? Like, what the hell? Before Kendrick's body was found, the state report shows CPS closed its last investigation, which involved neglect of the teen daughter on New Year's Eve of 2020. That was when Kendrick was already dead. Man, oh man, oh man. Let me see if there was anything else in these that I wanted to share. That one either. Let's see. That's the timeline. That's on that. This article says, fear in their eyes. Texas investigators describe conditions in which 8-year-old's remains were found. Can you imagine the fear? I mean, Harris County, Texas. It's the most heartbreaking, horrifying crime scene veterans with the Harris County, Texas Sheriff's Office said they ever saw after 3 abandoned boys were found trapped inside a Houston area apartment with their 8-year-old brother's skeletal remains inside for a full year.
They either didn't interview them or the children don't admit to any abuse. It's normal for a household with abused children when they're interviewed to not speak up. My son's girlfriend, she come from a very broken home, and the teachers, Des and her siblings, there's 5 of them, and Des is the second from oldest. She said they would come and get them out of class and, call them outside the classroom and take them to the office, and they would sit down and talk to them because evidently the school system knew that they had a broken home and had a rough home life. And Des said that, she always just said, no, everything's fine. Everything's good. Meanwhile, they were living horrible lives, but they were conditioned to lie.
Mm.
She still sometimes out of right field will hit me with a story. And, you think you've heard them all and hit me with a story that she's never told us that happened when they were growing up.
It's just crazy. This case makes me so angry. It could have been prevented. It just could have been prevented. But this is also why it is so dangerous for families of divorce. And when you bring in other people, and it is paramount that mothers and fathers protect their children, because the other person being brought in to be another parental role does not have the parenting instincts for your children. They're not theirs. And some people don't even have that capacity for their own children, let alone somebody else's. So if you're somebody who is in a relationship with somebody and you have children that are not theirs, please be vigilant. You can love them, but still you have to love your children more, and you have to protect them. It is our job as their parent to protect them at all cost. Those statistics do not lie. So just be vigilant and careful. If you see something, like if there's an apartment issue going on and you never see the adults and the kids are asking for food, fucking call CPS. Call the law. Report that shit every damn day. I mean, don't report over a child that's dirty out on the playground, because kids are kids and are going to get dirty. Don't report for because let's face it, kids do fall and get bruises. So I'm not saying that every bruise means that child's being abused. But things like this, where you're having to feed the kids because they don't have any food, they were coming over to the neighbor's house to charge their phones. Something's wrong and you're not seeing adults. Like, come on. Where's your mom, dude? Let me go talk to your mom. Maybe I can help. Something. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I just don't. Do not
Broken system. Very much a broken system.
So, all right, guys. I think it'll be a short night because this really wasn't a whole lot on this case. But now that I've got this file, I'm going to go through it. I'm see if there's stuff we want to talk about. And we can come on and read the file and
I'd like to find out when her court case is, when her trial
it wasn't listed. I checked her file. It doesn't have a court date yet. So I'll have to try to watch it for updates.
sounds good. When we'll see it, when will we be back?
Well, considering I was thinking we were talking Sunday and we're not talking Sunday, that's next Sunday. One day next week. What you have to figure out what day you're able to do Avengers, the Alaskan Avenger.
Yeah, I guess we'll announce it because I'm not sure yet what my schedule is. I'll have it done by Sunday. But I can't go live this coming Sunday night. But maybe Monday night or Tuesday night, depending on what morning I work.
Okay.
So I would say Monday or Tuesday night.
This Alaskan Adventure one is Avenger one is a neat one because it's a series we're going to start for vigilante criminals, the vigilante justice side of things. It's kind of a neat category. So that'll be our another one of our playlist.
Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all being here.
Sorry, guys. Happy Hump Day. Y'all have a good week, and I don't know what I have going on this weekend. Oh, I have a soccer game, and I've got a band thing because Jason plays at his first football game. So, evidently, I have to go be gammy for a few days. So it'll be kind of quiet that I know of at the moment. But we will definitely, and it just dawned on me, by the way, when we were coming on live, that I've got to change the closer because it still says in court with Brandy. I didn't realize that. So I got to change that one. I got to work on some of that. I got to work on stuff for next weekend, so I'm not like slammed in the last few days next week. But you guys have a great week, and we will see y'all.
Bye, guys.